Hello, and welcome to Monday. It's the end of the day. I just finished editing everything. I'm rendering videos before I head on off to bed, and I kind of want to talk about something that sparked into my mind and has kind of kickstarted some ideas that I definitely want to talk about. But I kind of want to start this vlog with the heavy hitter talking point that sparked today due to me watching Hunter x Hunter. Now, for those of you who don't know, I've been watching Hunter x Hunter ever since finishing King of the Hill a couple months ago, and I got to the part where the character Alika is introduced. And for context, I've read the manga for Hunter x Hunter, so I am well aware of Alika. She's actually one of my favorite characters, and spoilers, though if you know me, it should not be a spoiler. Part of the reason why Alika is my favorite character is because she's trans, or heavily trans-coded. Sure, there's no confirmation dialogue that absolutely definitively says that she's trans, which therefore people are going to fight to the high heavens on whether or not she is trans, because unfortunately that is just the state of the world, and that's going to be the talking point for today. Just speaking from the context of a trans person and speaking from how Alika is written and how other characters talk about her, she's pretty much trans. I feel like nobody should really fight on that talking point, but that's kind of going to be the topic of today. I'm going to talk about something that I'm really, really frustrated with, coming from the context of being a trans person. Being trans is not political, and I'm tired of it constantly feeling like it is. I genuinely despise that I can't just talk about my experiences of being trans and talking about fictional trans characters and talking about how well I think the characters are written, because I think Alika is an incredibly well-written character, especially from the context of she's trans and as someone who has gone through experiences that heavily reflect experiences that she has gone through. I think she's a brilliantly written character, and I think the fact that Alika is one of the few trans characters in fiction who doesn't flat out say what her identity is. You know, there's no dialogue where she just flat out says, "Hello, audience, I am transgender. Please respect my pronouns." I love the fact that anyone who understands anything about, trans people can look at Alika and be like, yeah, she's a trans girl, without her flat out saying it. Just that alone just really makes me smile. And I really, really wanted to talk about that today. And I actually tried talking about it with Johnny, and this is kind of where the topic of I'm tired of being trans just being a political thing, because I just started talking about this with Johnny about how I just think Alika is such a well-written character, and I think she really reflects a lot of the hardships that trans people go through of, like, being a part of a family that doesn't respect your identity and this and that. And Johnny, as I feel a lot of other people are, instantly thought I was making a political statement when I wasn't. I was purely just talking about how that is a genuine experience that trans people have to go through, including myself. I have family who do not accept the fact that I'm trans, even though I've been on HRT for 3 years and I got bottom surgery. Like, they still don't accept it. They still think I'm just going through my weird late 20s teenager phase, my late 20s phase, and I'm gonna eventually figure out I was wrong and go back to church. It just sucks, because it's like, I want to just talk about these things, and everyone around me just instantly assumes I'm trying to make a political statement, when I'm not. I just want to talk about trans experiences, and specifically talk about it through the lens of very well written fictional characters. That's all I wanted to do today. And unfortunately, I kind of had to beg and plead with Johnny that, like, no, I'm not making a political statement. Please don't think that. I'm just trying to share my experience. And, bless his heart. I know he means well. And so do, I'm sure, most people. But it just sucks that, unfortunately, the world has politicized the very existence of trans people so much that just saying the word transgender, I feel like, sets people ablaze for all the wrong reasons. But it's just like, I just want to talk about how cool it is to see well-written characters that reflect someone like me in media. Because it's very rare. It is very rare to see a well-written trans character. So when I feel like there is one, I feel like it needs to be praised and it needs to be talked about. And I really wanted to do that today and I couldn't. I really wanted to talk about it with, like, my friends as well. Because, if I can't talk about it with Johnny, maybe I could talk about it with my friends. But I also feel like I can't do that. Anytime I bring up the word transgender or talk about anything like that, my friends get very awkward and very quiet, and it makes me feel very self-conscious about it, and I tend to avoid talking about it altogether, just because of the fact that it's like I don't fully feel safe talking about all of it, around my friends, which, it's not like I'm the only LGBTQ person in my friend group. That's far from the truth. But I'm the only trans person there, so it's just hard. I kind of want to end off this vlog by talking about an idea that's kind of popped into my head. I don't know if I'm going to act upon it. I probably won't. But I have been considering doing, like, a third YouTube channel, separate to my Let's Plays and my vlogs, where it's kind of just going to be a whatever channel, where if I have ideas for videos that don't necessarily fit this channel or the Let's Play channel, I might just make it and slap it on that channel and call it a day. I don't think I'm going to make a whole new channel if I do this. I'm thinking I'll probably just take, like, my VOD channel and, like, rename it and rebrand it. And then just throw whatever I want on it. I'm thinking about maybe testing it out by making a couple, like, trans-themed video essays. I really want to make a video on Alika and how well I think she represents some experiences of being a trans person. Another one that I really want to talk about is I would love to make a video about, I could be remembering her name wrong, but I think her name's Togata from Fire Punch. Another, in my opinion, very well-written trans character in fictional media that I feel like needs to get talked more. I feel like it needs to get talked about more. And also, it would allow me to be able to express my thoughts in a, weirdly to say, safe space, because at the end of the day, I started making videos so I could share my passions in a safe space, because as a kid I didn't have that. I started making Let's Plays because I didn't have a safe space. Making videos created a safe space for me, and I've kept that ever since. Maybe it's time I do something like that for some of my other thoughts, some of my other opinions. Because, yeah, I love media. I love more than just video games. I love movies. I love music. I love all sorts of things. I would love to have a random channel where I could make one video talking about trans topics, and then the next video it's like, hey, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite horror movies. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm going to end this vlog by saying, like, asking everyone's opinions. Do you think I should make just a kind of whatever channel? I guess examples I could give that of, like, other creators that do it is, like, Scott the Woz. Scott the Woz has his main channel, but then he also has Scott Stash, which is just like a random whatever channel where he just talks about whatever he wants. Maybe I should do something like that. Maybe, like, rebrand my VOD channel to just be like a random whatever channel. And I can talk about those types of things in, like, a video essay type thing. I don't know. Again, I haven't committed to this idea yet. I definitely want to sleep on it some more. It kind of just was something that popped into my head due to the topic that I mentioned before of just how I feel like just the very concept of being trans has been politicized, and it feels very isolating a lot of times. Now, I do want to mention that I don't think ill of anyone around me. I know it's very awkward for everyone because no one's experienced it like I have in my life. I don't have any trans friends, so I don't have anyone who has had a similar experience. I'm sure anyone who is watching this video that has had a similar experience can probably relate. So I'm not speaking ill of anyone around me. I understand that they don't understand the experiences that I have, and so it's hard to see it from my perspective. It just sucks that, again, just bringing it up kind of makes everyone assume that I'm trying to be political when I'm not. So, anywho, I'm rambling at this point, so that's gonna be it for today. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you think I should make that other channel. I'm gonna go to bed now.